Hey Gateman fans, welcome into the South Coast Health pregame show. I'm Cade Crenshaw, joined alongside Cameron Ezeir. And as the great Ernie Banks would say, it's a great day to play too. The Gatemen are playing host to a doubleheader today against the Harwich Mariners. First pitch at 4 o'clock, the second game 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first. Cam, this is a Gateman team that had a 3-0 lead last night after 6, but faltered down the stretch in the late innings en route to a 5-4 loss.
Yeah, gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and it was the bullpen that kind of fell apart. We saw 3 different pitchers for the Gatemen in that 7th frame alone in the home half for the Commodores, and it was a Falmouth team entering that game 4-6-1. Same with the Gatemen, both tied bottom of the West Division. So you thought, okay, you are nursing a 3-0 advantage against one of the worst teams on the Cape. You'd expect to continue to keep it going on the offensive end as well as pitching, because the pitching was so good. Kind of fell apart on the back end, but what I really liked with the Gatemen in that loss against the Commodores was the resiliency to come back in the top of the 8th, get that RBI hit and make it 4-4. Yes, lost down the stretch, but a tough 6-4 loss to Falmouth, I would say, was more good because Eric Swann was fantastic. The starting pitching got back on the right foot, and I really liked the resiliency.
We talk about Eric Swann more later on. First, though, how about the Gateman offense? Double-digit hits for a second straight game. This is an offensive team that's just waiting for their big breakthrough moment.
4 times this season that the Gatemen have recorded over 10 hits. Unfortunately, in the last 2 games, they've both resulted in losses. But you're right, it's a Gatemen team that during stretches of the season have really struggled to pick up the hits. In the first 3 games, batted 128. In games, I think it was 6 through 9 or 6 through 10, batting 155. So when you look at the back-to-back games with 12 hits, both resulting in losses, you can take that away as a positive, knowing that, okay, the bats are hot. Maybe the results aren't there, but you got 32 games left in the season. You got a doubleheader today, and you have an off day tomorrow, so you have a lot of time to think about it. And if the bats can stay hot, the pitching will get a lot better, and I have confidence in this Gateman team moving forward.
And we know for the first half, at least, of the Cape Cod baseball season, usually pitchers are the ones who dominate these games among the 10 teams. And Cameron, last night, we saw the most dominant outing of the season from a Gateman arm in the play of Eric Swann, Middle Tennessee State right-hander.
He was so phenomenal, not just his sequencing where the fastball was there, the changeup command was phenomenal, and how he was mixing in those pitches to confuse hitters. It was all there, and it resulted in great statistics to show for it. 8 strikeouts in the 11 batters faced, only a pair of base hits as well. And I talk about the resiliency of this team, the recovery of Eric Swann to give up a pair of base hits, then following it up by striking out the side in the first and second innings of his outing. He was phenomenal.
8 Ks and 3 innings for Eric Swann. And, well, what a better way for our South Coast Health player of the game yesterday to catch up with our Claire Foley. She'll be with him right after this.
Mosquito bites and ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866 Ask Mary, or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
Thanks, guys. Here with Eric Swann. Eric, yesterday you were clearly in control of the game, 8 strikeouts. Talk to me about your command.
Yeah, we've worked a lot down here. Pitching coach Eddie Marco's been working with me pretty good, and I think we figured out a little bit what's going on in my delivery.
And coming here so far, 3 appearances, 11 strikeouts. So you've been in control this whole time, but is there anything you've learned that's different about Cape hitters?
Yeah, you got to be sharp. These guys know what they're doing. A lot of them will hit mistakes, so you can't make as many.
And then the unique thing about summer ball, but especially here down the Cape, guys are coming from all over the country. Is there anything you picked up on from other guys coming from different programs?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in the bullpen from all over, and we talk about grips and mechanics and all that all the time, so we're always working together trying to figure out what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back to more post-game coverage with Cameron Ezeir and Cade Crenshaw.
After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Back with you on the Gateman pregame show. Cade Crenshaw joined alongside Cameron Ezeir. Thank you also to Claire Foley for that great interview with Eric Swann. Now, Cam, today it's a brand new day, a brand new team coming into the ballpark here at Spillane Field, and we've got a doubleheader on deck as the Gatemen play host the Harwich Mariners, the second doubleheader of the CCBL season. Wareham, though, looking for a better result than the first, a 2-game loss at Chatham last week.
And that was one where Wareham could have easily taken at least one of those two. We're up 3-1. Michael Sansone gives up a grand slam, and that's all she wrote at the end of that one. In the second one, it was a pitcher's duel in that 7-inning bout, a 2-0 win for the Chatham Anglers. For the Wareham Gatemen, in those two, the bats weren't hot. In the last 2 games, we've already talked about it here on the pregame show, 24 hits in the last 2 games combined. So if you're Wareham, you're feeling pretty confident coming into this game, knowing, and not just game 1, but game 2 as well, knowing that the bats are starting to pop a little more and the offense is there. So against Chatham, it was the bats that struggled, only 7 combined hits in those 2 games. Today, you're hoping that the bats are there and the pitching can be a lot better.
Michael Sansone will be back on the bump. The left-hander out of Fairfield University takes the mound for the Gatemen this afternoon. All that more coming up in moments. First pitch just minutes away. From Spillane Field, for Cameron Ezeir and Claire Foley, I'm Cade Crenshaw. We'll see you at first pitch coming right up.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP, have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Nights. Both have been losses on the road, one to Hyannis and then last night at Falmouth. Yet in each of those 2 games, Wareham totaled 12 hits. You just have to think at some point the Gatemen offense is going to turn those hits into runs on the scoreboard.
And not just that, can the Gatemen consistently get that hitting production, because in this first 10, 11, 12 stretch of games, it seems like the Gatemen have only been able to do so in a 2 or 3 game stretch. So yeah, the bats have been there. Can they consistently be there, knowing that the pitching staff has been so good for a majority of the season? It just seems like Wareham is struggling in one aspect of the game, whether that be errors, defense, pitching, or hitting, and unfortunately they can't put all 4 together. Can it be today? We'll see.
They'll do it in 7 innings of work. Each of today's 2 games is 7 innings apiece. The only exception, you can play into quote-unquote extra innings in each of these 2 contests up until the end of the 9th, at which point each game would then turn into a tie. Well, as we alluded to, Michael Sanson, the left-hander out of Fairfield University, makes his 3rd start of the season for the Gatemen, 7 2/3 under his belt. He enters with an 0-1 record and an ERA at 5.97, allowing 6 hits, 5 runs, all of which have been earned. The 1 homer, as we alluded to, the grand slam last Sunday at Chatham, 1 walk to 12 strikeouts. David Smith will step in to lead things off for the Harwich Mariners, second baseman from UConn. First pitch, fastball, dots the outer corner in this lefty-on-righty matchup. Oh-1, lifted in the air to left, and that'll get down for a base hit at the feet of a ranging Hogan Windish. Well, the leadoff man is aboard for the Harwich Mariners. And, well, Cam, these are 2 teams that are familiar with each other, just meeting 3 short days ago, where the Gatemen got the best of them in a 5-3 win.
And it wasn't just getting the best of them, it was getting the best of them in the oddest way. Out of those 5 runs that were scored, 1 at a ground-out double play ball that scored a run from third, another from Bach, an error, a walk with the bases loaded. So really odd way to win, but a win's a win.
Tommy Seidel, the right fielder from Alabama, will have to wait a first pitch as Smith is brought back to the bat. Tommy Seidel riding a 4-game hit streak into today's doubleheader. First pitch from Sanson plunges its way into the bottom half, strike 1. Tommy on the same summer league team as his brother, Bobby. Or Tommy, he's now at Alabama, as we alluded to. His older brother at Duke. Count even at 1 apiece. Game time temperature 82 degrees and sunny, although that heat index 85 degrees is what it feels like today at the ballpark. We do have a nice breeze. Double-digit speeds ranging from right to left across the diamond. Second pickoff over to first. Smith, once again, is back safely. Defensively for the Gatemen at third base is Derek Fabian. Back at short is Clemson's Blake Wright. Jack Hausinger man second, with Max Anderson on at first. Peter Burns behind the plate. 1-1 from Sanson. High shot in the air to left. Windish back at the track, and it's one hopper off the fence. Rounding second, heading to third, goes David Smith. All men are safe, and it's a double for Tommy Seidel. Two batters faced, a pair of base hits, and now both are in scoring position. Not the ideal start Michael Sanson was looking for.
Fastball over the middle. We've talked about this a lot with Michael Sanson's game. He takes velocity off and goes for more of the precise pitch, and both times a pitch that hung over the middle just a little too long. And Smith, his first hit of the summer in just his second game, and then Seidel, who's batting .235 coming into this one with a nice roper to left.
Runners at second, third, no outs. First pitch to Nick Goodwin, called strike 1. That is the advantage, I think, that Sanson puts on a lot of hitters. He's never down in the count early. That's now 3 first pitch strikes, all taken by the top of the Mariners' order. Goodwin out of Kansas State, looking to put the Mariners on the board early. 0-1, softly lifted into left center. That drops for a base hit. Coming home to score is Smith, and just like that, Harwich takes a 1-0 lead in the top of the first.
But then again, Cade, if you take some velocity off your pitches, and you throw a fastball the first time and the second time, it seems that Harwich is able to read that pitch and where it's going to go over the plate. If Sansone misses his location, all of a sudden you have what you're having here, where these hitters are doing a really good job reading the pitches, and Harwich with an early lead.
Men on the corners for Joe Vetrano. Harwich up 1-0. Still no outs in the top of the first inning. Gateman really hoping that Michael Sansone can cover up at least half of this 7-inning ball game. First pitch. Down and in at his toes. It's ball 1. A pair of base hits and a double from Tommy Seidel, who now stands at third base, has been the difference maker early on in this game. Vetrano at the dish out of Boston College, a 182 hitter so far in the Cape. Sansone misses upstairs, ball 2. Mariners coming in at 5-7-0. The Gatemen 4-7-1. Runners at first and third, still no out. The 2-0 doesn't paint the outside half, and that's ball 3.
Gotta watch out for this one on a 3-0. Usually the unwritten rule is you let the 3-0 breeze by, but I would not be surprised if Vetrano took a hack.
Cleanup man at the plate, looking to extend the lead. That currently sits at a run. 3-0 pitch, line right back to us here at the booth. Thankfully, we had this glass up in front of us.
I actually wanted to make a good catch. There's a screen in front of us that is cut out from the fencing, and if that wasn't there, I think that ball might have leaked up to us. And I'm telling you, Cade, don't have a lot of baseball experience on the field, but I think I would have made that catch.
I would have loved to seen you try. The 3-1. Vetrano into the air in the left. Windish ranging to his right. He'll reel it in. Seidel tags up from third, and it's a sacrifice fly for Joe Vetrano. And the Mariners lead it by a pair.
Good job by Harwich jumping on pitches early when they feel like it, but also letting the count run to a respectable number in which they're willing to take hacks at pitches in the zone. 3 consecutive balls thrown by Michael Sansone to Vetrano set up Joe to have an opportunity to just hit one in the air and do his job.
Good one remains at first for Kenny Lavari, third baseman from Old Dominion. Second straight lefty in the lineup. Curveball douses away. Wareham behind the 8-ball early on. Harwich scoring 2 runs. We're still in the first. 1 man on with 1 away. The 1-0, broken bat, blooper shot into no man's land in right center. Sprinting into third goes Goodwin, and the Mariners keep rolling early on. That's their 4th hit of this first inning alone.
So interesting, because against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, Wareham has done this exact scenario twice, in which only 1 out is recorded or no outs in the first, and you rake together a couple hits. And today, Wareham fallen to the Harwich Mariners doing the same.
We go back to Thursday's matchup at Harwich, where, like we alluded to, the Gatemen took away a 5-3 win from the Mariners. And so far today, Harwich 2 runs in the first inning. You go back last Thursday, it took them 8 innings to piece together 2 runs. So a much quicker start for this Mariners offense against Sansone.
And there's a reason Eddie Marco is out there to talk to his starting pitcher. I think he's been doing it a lot with the bullpen as well after that meltdown yesterday against Falmouth. It's just so these pitchers don't get into their own heads and realize there's a whole lot of game to go. It's the top of the first. The offense hasn't even got on the field yet for the Gatemen, so stay confident in your stuff. And with 1 out and a runner at first, the double play ball is still in play, and it's only a 2-0 deficit.
Sansone will be looking for a grounder off the bat of Ryan McCarthy, designated hitter out of Penn State Abington. Men on the corners with one away. First pitch. Cut on and miss. 0-1. Good one at third. Lavari on at first. They both reached on singles. Sansone. Down in the dirt. Good job defensively from Peter Burns, who's hailed as one of the better defensive catchers, not just in this league, but in the country.
It's because of his experience. He's played a whole lot of games for Boston College.
Senior man behind the plate. Senior on the bump. Experienced battery today for Wareham. The 1-1. Chopped over foul. Rolling up the first base line. Just indeed, as Sansone got there, he had to quickly sprint over from the rubber. That ball initially looked like it may stay fair up the line just enough. But then once it rolls off the grass here at Spillane Field, it is a foul ball. Have to keep that in mind. The foul lines are not the outer chalk. It is the infield grass line.
I don't think if my eyes deceive me, but it looked like part of the ball peeled off, which is why Sansone threw it back into the dugout.
1-2 to McCarty. Outside and away. Did he give chase? First base umpire says no. Count even at 2-2. Defensively, the Gatemen set standard. Runners on the corners. One away. 2-2. Send in the air to right. Roden camps under it. That's the second out. Tagging up from third is Goodwin. Make it 3-0 Harwich in the first.
Not just that, Cade. Every single time a Harwich Mariner has been to the plate, they've done something positive in the hitting department. A pair of sac flies. It's all you got to do when you have a runner at third, and then 4 hits scurried around those deuces of sac flies by Vetrano and McCarty. Harwich very efficient early on in this game.
That'll bring up Chris Newell, the center fielder from Virginia. A man at first with 2 away. Wynn now rolling out over the right field fencing. The lefty hitter's going to like that. Fouls away. Strike 1. Yeah, Cam, you're right. That's been a very efficient start for a Harwich offense that comes in ranked in the bottom half of the league in team average. 207. Sansone looking to just finish off the frame. The 0-1. Out of play, left side once again. Wareham looking to get back on the winning side of things. Losers of 5 of their last 6. Including a 5-4 defeat at Falmouth less than 24 hours ago. 0-2. Above the letters. Ball 1.
The Harwich team, 72 hits on the season. It's about 7 hits per game, already 4 here in the first.
Newell in his debut appearance for the Mariners, looking to tack on his first hit of the season and add to that 70-plus total. Cut on and missed. That's strike 3. Well, Sansone ends it in a strikeout, but RBIs from Goodwin, Vetrano, and McCarty are enough. Harwich takes a 3-0 lead into the bottom half. We return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Radio Network.
Each and every game here at Spillane Field is made possible by our sponsors. Let's take a moment to recognize Gateway Tavern, Coastal Orthodontics, Fairway Financial, Joanne Stevenson, Sullivan Wine and Spirits, Deb Levesque Massage Therapy, the Law Office of Mark Deshays, Office Technology Group, J&M Baseball Academy, South Coast Health, Minkle Boys Catering, 80 Makepeace, Reed Custom Soils, Soft as a Grape, Bay Motor Inn, Point Sign, Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week, Cranberry Self Storage, Village Signs, the Law Office of Lang, Exiferis, and Bullard, Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP, Robertson's GMC, Effie's Homemade, Wareham Country Market, the Wareham House of Pizza, Robbery's Tree Service, Patty Wild, Onset Bay Association, Select PT, El Mariachi, Water Whiz, and Cool Cone. Thank you once again to our sponsors of your Wareham Gatemen.
The Wareham Gatemen offense will have to dig out of a hole early on. They trail 3-0 as we make our way into the bottom of the first inning with the Harwich Mariners in town for a doubleheader. Cade Crenshaw joined alongside Cameron Ezeir. Your lineup for the Gatemen this evening in the leadoff spot will be Jack Hausinger, batting second as he has in all 12 games this season is Hogan Windish. Batting third is Max Anderson. The cleanup spot, Alan Roden. Batting fifth after a 3-hit performance last night against the Falmouth Commodores, it's Florida's Ty Evans. Batting sixth is Clemson's Blake Wright. Back in the 7th spot as the DH is Ian Farrow. And rounding out the order in the 8 and 9 holes respectively is Derek Fabian and Boston College's Peter Burns. On the bump for the Mariners, it's the southpaw from Georgia, 6'6", 245-pounder, and Liam Sullivan. He makes his third appearance on the Cape this summer. Cam, what are you looking for him?
It's a guy that throws hard. He's a big body out there. And the biggest thing from Liam Sullivan, how does he start a game? Because in his previous 2 outings here on the Cape, he was the first out of the bullpen.
A native of Sandy Springs, Georgia. He'll work against Hausinger. It's lefty on lefty as we get things underway. First pitch. Fastball. Bottoms out in the zone. 0-1. Taken by Hausinger. Xavier Musketeer at the plate, 1 for 5 last night with an RBI double against Falmouth. 0-1 misses. Hausinger this season, 1 for 5 against left-handers. Second on the team in batting average, a .324 hitter. So he'll take strike 2. Well, not the start the leadoff man was looking for. He's down in the count. The lumber hasn't left his shoulders. The Gateman team that's looking to reach double-digit hits for the 3rd straight ball game. 1-2, check swing. Third base umpire will say that Hausinger held back. Count even at 2-2.
One of the most patient guys in the Cape League as well. It's double-digit walks that leads the Cape for Hausinger.
Two offering. Spiking in the dirt's ball 3. Good response from Hausinger. Fell down on the count early. He's worked it back full. Trying to find a way on the base pass, and like Cam said, extend that Cape League walk total on the year. Cut on and miss. 1 away.
It's interesting because with 2 strikes, Hausinger chokes up more on his bat, and also drops his stance a little, which gives him more of a good eye on the ball. But in that one, a fastball that started maybe a bit lower than he expected and ranged a bit higher than he expected would finish. So caught Hausinger and swings right through it.
And will stand Hogan Windish, the left fielder from UNC Greensboro. First pitch, swing and miss. Talk about Hausinger being second on the Gateman in batting average. You're looking at the first. .364 hitter through 12 games. 6 RBIs on the year. 0-1. Falls down and in. Windish another multi-hit game last night. His 3rd of the season. Going 2 for 4. 1-1. Lined over to short. Good one on a hop. 2 down. A much better start for Liam Sullivan in the bottom half of this first frame, Cam, than what we saw from Sanson at the top.
Yeah, Michael lost a bit of his command as he took velocity off. The precision just wasn't there, left a few over the plate. Not the same with Sullivan here.
Anxious to see how Sanson responds. First pitch, dribbled over to the third base side. Lavari, a 180 spin in time for the third and final out. We're through one. Harwich leads it 3-0 as they sit down the Gatemen in order to get things underway. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball when we return on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod, free of charge. On behalf of the 9 other teams, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2022 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Gibson Sotheby's, Curry College, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Badger Sport, Zephyr Hats, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys, Massachusetts State Lottery. We will be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
We make our way into the top of the second inning of Game 1 in today's doubleheader. Harwich on top early, 3-0. 4 hits back in the first inning. First pitch from Sanson, swung on by Gisette. Over to third base, Fabian's there, 1 away. Runs driven in by Goodwin, Vetrano, and McCarty in that first frame, but Sanson already a better start to the second inning, retiring the first batter.
After you pitch that much in the first and you almost give away all your stuff, at times it's not a bad thing because these Harwich pitcher or hitters are going to be a little more anxious because they know, okay, I might get a fastball in the first pitch and it can result in ground balls like Gouchette hit into.
Our second debut of the ball game. Here's Press Kavanaugh, the left fielder from UNC Greensboro. Saw some time last year with Harwich, but he's back up for a second summer. He's catching some batting practice earlier today from the booth and saw his interaction with his collegiate teammate, Hogan Windish. And Windish's first sentence to him was, "Hey, man, when'd you get up here?" Kavanaugh, a little bit late arrival, but he made it, and he's in the jersey, he's in the lineup. The first chance that he can be. 2 balls, no strikes to the 9-hole hitter. Fastball cuts in, ball 3. Three-0 pitch from Sanson finds its way in the top half of the zone. Kavanaugh, a native of Charlotte. Mike Windish just wrapped up his senior season for Billy Godwin's Spartans. 3-1 pitch, skied into the air, shallow right. Sprinting is Roden. He'll call it off. The midday sun beating down. That's 2 away. If you're a Gateman fan, Cam, this is the exact response you were looking for from Michael Sanson after a troubling first.
Yeah, throw as few pitches as possible and continue to find the zone, force poor contact, which Sanson is so good at. You're not going to see a high strikeout rate from Sanson in every one of his starts.
2-0 pitch at the top of the order. David Smith called strike one. One thing that Michael Sansone has done so far in each of his first 2 starts, struck out 6 batters in each. He's added number 13 today. 0-1 on the ground of Fabian. From the hot corner, his throw across. Just in time for Max Anderson to reach up and pick it out of the air. A 1-2-3 inning for Michael Sansone. We go to the bottom half of the second. Harwich still leads 3-0. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball when we return to the Gateman Broadcast Network. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous Colossal Lobster Rolls, piled high on a grilled brioche and served hot buttered or just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
The Wareham-based 80 Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is the world's largest cranberry grower and the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gateman and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gateman.
Trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the second inning, the Gateman offense steps up to the plate for the second time today. It's Alan Roden, Ty Evans, and Blake Wright. Due up, that's 4, 5, 6 from the heart of the order. Roden up first, graduate from Creighton University there in Indiana. Lefty on lefty. Sullivan sat down the Gateman, of course, in order in the first inning, tallying a strikeout. Roden last night, 2-hit performance. Both were doubles. 0-1 in the air to left, opposite way. Cavanaugh doesn't have to move much. 1 down.
Yeah, positive you could take from that Falmouth game was a guy like Hogan Windish and even Alan Roden, they didn't start off well from the plate in their first few at-bats, and then they picked it up later in the game. So as long as that late game production is there, you know that the bats can get hot in the latter half. Unfortunately, 7-inning game, not 9 unless it's tied, so they have less of an opportunity.
From one multi-hit guy last night to the next, it's Ty Evans, a center fielder from Florida. He takes strike one. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. We mentioned earlier 13 to 15 miles per hour expected today at the ballpark. Evans, a player who struggled to start his Cape League season, but last night was that breakout game a lot of people were looking for him. Just looks like a baseball player. A 3-for-4 ball game. The 0-2. Curveball misses high. Ball 1. The base is empty and 1 away, the 1-2. Cut on and missed. That's a drop, strike 3, the throw to first in time. Second strikeout through 5 batters for Liam Sullivan. Now a player who's looking to get back into a rhythm after a recent slump. It's Clemson's Blake Wright. First pitch from Sullivan. Called strike 1 outside. Wright in his last 3 games combined 0 for 13. A player who can definitely turn it around. He's the home run hitter for the Gateman team. The 0-1. Cut on and missed. Nothing in 2.
Yeah, I think a lone gripe with Blake Wright is what's he swinging for? A lot of the times it doesn't look like singles. That home run, he connected really well on a ball that lifted up in the zone. So you just wonder if he can get it on the ground and utilize his speed, find the gaps, that could be integral.
0-2 offering. Got on and missed. That's strike 3. Make it 3 strikeouts today for Liam Sullivan. And the Gatemen once again go down in order. We're through 2. And the Mariners lead it by 3. Stay tuned for more Wareham baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
We want our money to work as hard for us when we retire as we did working to accumulate it. My name is Steve Anzoni, and I am president of Fairway Financial Insurance Agency. Money is just a tool to help you to do what you ultimately want to do, which is to travel, spend time with your kids, grandkids, and do other stuff. And I want to be the guy that's going to help you navigate the course of life to help you avoid those sand traps and get you onto the green and into the hole with greater financial confidence.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Harwich holding on to a 3-0 lead as we make our way into the top of the 3rd inning of this 7-inning contest. It's 2-3-4 due up in the Mariners order, led off by Tommy Seidel. Alabama product, 1-for-1 today, a double back in the first. Sansone, meanwhile, after a troubling start, has retired 4 in a row, looking to make it 5. You get the third started out on the right foot. Lefty on righty. First pitch from Sansone. Off speed, called strike 1. Defensively, the Gatemen set standard. We have not seen any shifts so far this season from Harvey Shapiro's squad. 0-1, title show bunt, pulled back as it missed away. Sansone, the southpaw out of Fairfield University. Recent senior. 1-1, cut on by Seidel.
A good changeup from Michael Sansone that said before the season that he likes to work away on those changeups and work inside more on those four-seam fastballs.
Looking for a second strikeout in the afternoon. Sansone, the 1-2. Called strike 3 in the bottom half. He was looking for it, and he finds it right there. He sits down Seidel, 1 down the top of the 3rd.
Really interesting, a guy in Michael Sansone that went into college at Fairfield is more of a movement guy. A lot of two-seams, changeups, curveballs. Since then, he's developed more of the new school approach of pitching, developed a four-seam ride fastball that works a little more inside and up in the zone, trying to make hitters miss over the bat. I love these guys that are more technical with their pitching.
Good one. Looks on, an RBI single back in the first. Sansone's a player like you alluded to a little bit earlier, Cam. The radar guns are not going to light up for Michael Sansone, an 82 to 86 sort of guy on the fastball. So, you know, you look back last night, 0-1 lift in the air by Goodwin to right. Road moves up. That's 2 down. Last night you saw Eric Swann in Falmouth touching 95, 96. That's not going to be the case. Some pitchers utilize their speed from the rubber. Others utilize just having the better stuff. And more times than not, that's what Michael Sansone leans on. He's retired 6 in a row. That'll bring up Joe Vitrano, first baseman from Boston College. Sacrifice fly that drove in a run last time we saw him in the first inning. Two down, the base is empty. Sansone to the lefty. Popped him up. Center field, Evans ranges slightly to his left. With the shades on, he'll bring it down for the third out. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Michael Sansone. Can the Gateman offense possibly pick up some momentum from him? We'll find out when we return to the bottom half of the third inning. Harwich up by 3. Stay tuned for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Mark Deshays has been practicing law in southeastern Massachusetts for over 30 years. His primary focus is on all aspects of real estate law, including residential and commercial real estate transactions, commercial leasing, land development, land use and zoning law, and land conservation matters. If you need representation, call now at 508-993-2300.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Summer is here, and we are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South
Back for baseball in Wareham, Massachusetts. 7, 8, 9 due up in the order. Led off by Ian Farrow, the designated hitter. First pitch. Liam Sullivan sends home strike 1 on the outer half. Sullivan so far, faced 6, retired all of them, including 3 strikeouts. Farrow just wrapped up his freshman season at Florida Gulf Coast. Cut on and missed, nothing in 2. This fall, though, going to be heading over to the ACC, joining the Miami Hurricanes, so not straying too far from the state of Florida. Oh, 2. Fouled off to stay alive. Farrell, 160 hitter on the early season. Sullivan douses it away. Ball 1. Sullivan, meanwhile, the left-hander on the bump out of Georgia, as we alluded to, making his 3rd appearance of the summer. Now 7 1/3 under his belt in the Cape. He's total 9 strikeouts. Make it 10. 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd as Farrow is retired.
3 straight Ks swinging, 4 total like you said, 10 on the season, but all 4 swinging. Liam Sullivan, I talked about him being a hard-throwing righty, but I'm liking how he's mixing in his pitches. More fastballs, of course, with him being more of a fastball-heavy type of pitcher, but doing a really good job mixing in those breaking balls in order to kind of confuse these hitters.
First pitch to Derek Fabian in today's ball game, misses low. Fabian, a Florida Gator, came up in a big spot last night, a pinch hit RBI double. That initially tied the game in the 8th. The 1-0 cut on and missed, count even at 1 apiece. One pitch. Make it strike 2. Sullivan's swing and miss stuff really working here in game 1.
I think the biggest reason why is if you look at Sullivan and how he throws a baseball, starts really high above his shoulder, so that downward angle will confuse a lot of the hitters, because if it looks like it's going over the plate, it could dip a bit lower.
1-2 in the dirt. The Gatemen still looking for their first hit in this one. Fabian at the plate. Peter Burns in the on-deck circle. The 2-2. Fouled away back into the fencing behind home. Fabian starting on the hot corner today for Wareham. Third baseman digs in. It's Florida cleats. The 2-2. Off speed, breaking ball, lifted high in the air to right, sprinting on it is Seidel. He dives and can't get there. Fabian held up at second base, and it's a one-out double. 2 in as many days for Fabian.
Good contact. I think Liam Sullivan should have worked the bottom of the zone a little more because Fabian bit on a pitch against Falmouth that was right over the plate, which allowed him to have that RBI double like you alluded to earlier, and that one stayed around the letters for Derek Fabian, and that's where he hits the best, is when it's around those letters to numbers area and it doesn't drop too low where he has to dig at it.
A man in scoring position for Peter Burns. First pitch called, strike one in the top half.
Also really impressed by the response of these Florida Gators. Couple games, or debut games for Michael Roberts and Fabian. And, you know, you talk about guys that are just getting their first run here in the Cape, and they're looking great in their second and third appearances, as many of these Cape League hitters have as they've adjusted from metal to wooden bats.
Hey, you go swinging aluminum and metal for 9 months. It's a stark adjustment to make, especially in a league where pitching's going to dominate early because of that almost late arrival for a lot of hitters in terms of their game. 1-1 pitch called in the bottom half on Burns. That's strike 2. Top of the order on deck. The Gatemen just got their first hit of the game in the bottom of the third inning, with Fabian standing at second following a one-out double. 1-2. Cut on and miss. Drop strike 3. They'll throw to first in time. Make it 5 strikeouts through 2 2/3 for Liam Sullivan. Great outing for him so far.
He's also done a little leapfrog, having a good outing, then just an okay one, and now this one being good as well. Back on the 14th of June, 3 innings of work, 5 Ks, only 1 hit allowed, 10 batters faced out of the pen. On the 20th against Hyannis, flipped it around, only 2 1/3, 1 earned run, 6 hits, only 1 K. So he's back to that strikeout form that got him the second and third outing in the start today.
I'm sure that's a big part of his game that Georgia coaching staff wants him to develop here in the Cape, is have more consistency on the mound. Fabian at second for Jack Hausinger, the 0-1 upstairs. Count even at 1 apiece. And, of course, there are those days where you just don't have it as a player, whether that's offensively or on the defensive side. Everybody has an off day. 1-1 in the dirt, ball 2. So far today, okay, for Liam Sullivan, it looks like an on day. He's allowed 1 hit so far through 2 2/3. 5 strikeouts, no free passes dealt out, although Hausinger's ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Sullivan looking to polish off the frame and strand the runner. Called strike 2, inside corner. Breaking ball plunges its way into the zone. The Gatemen stranded 10 last night at Falmouth. Do they leave their first on the base pass today? Popped out of here, we'll see it again. Harwich leading 3-0. Put 3 runs on the board early on in the first. A base hit here could eat away at the deficit. The 2-2. Cut on and missed. He allows a double. Outside of that, Sullivan strikes out the side. Great outing for him through 3 innings. 6 strikeouts for the Georgia Southpaw. We're through 3, and Harwich leads it by 3. Stay tuned for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It only takes 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod. So even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. No trip to the Cape is complete without a trip to Soft as a Grape.
We head into the top of the 4th. Harwich on top of Wareham, I should say. Almost said Hyannis there. 3-0 over the Gatemen. For Harwich, a 3-run, 4-hit first inning since Sanson's retired him in order.
I'll give you a break. Wareham has played Hyannis 3 times this season, and Harwich is actually the only other team other than Falmouth that Wareham has played more than once. But that aside, yeah, Michael Sanson's looked a lot better in the last 2 frames. After in the first, Harwich just jumped on him, and it happens for a guy that lowers his velocity a little bit, and the Mariners took full advantage of it. It seemed like they came to play against a guy like Michael Sanson.
First pitch fouled away from Kenny Lavari, the Old Dominion third baseman. 1 for 1 today with a single back in the first inning. Three-run lead for the Mariners. They'll look to build on to that as we cross over the halfway point in this 7-inning ball game. 0-1 up and in. Lavari, a native of Norfolk, Virginia, 261 hitter coming into this one. Strike 2, I should say. Sanson looking for strikeout number 3 on the afternoon. The 1-2. Fouled away. Sanson aiming to retire the Mariners in order for the 3rd straight frame. Step 1 of that's retiring the leadoff batter. 1-2 punch. He got him. 1 away and make it 3 strikeouts for Michael Sanson on this Sunday afternoon.
8 straight that he's retired after the first 6 batters either got on base or hit a sacrifice fly to garner themselves an RBI, and Sanson has responded really well. K now in the 1st, in the 3rd, and to start off the 4th.
1 away for Ryan McCarty. First pitch missing low. Designated hitter a sacrifice fly back in the 1st. That drove in the 3rd run for Harwich. That's been our score ever since. The 1-0. Missing outside. It's ball 2. The Gatemen Go had their first offensive opportunity of the ball game moments ago in the bottom half of inning number 3. A 1-out double from Derek Fabian did not prove to bring any runs home. The 2-0 cut on and missed. Strike 1.
What's interesting is the guy at the plate is actually a Division III player at Penn State Abington's Commonwealth campus of Penn State University. He batted over 500 this past season.
That's the best part about college baseball, I think, is the parity in it. There is so much parity in college baseball now. Even at the Division III level, there are some dudes. And Ryan McCarty, obviously, is one of those. It's not easy to hit over 500, whether you're playing in high school ball or playing at the highest highs of Division I in Omaha. It's not easy to hit 500 on a regular season. It's a credit to McCarty for that. And so far, he's held his own in the Cape. 2-2, fouled away.
D3 Player of the Year as well, and a guy that recorded 100 hits at a plethora of Division III records. And it's nice to see a guy out here, not at the Division I level, but dominating at the Division III level, and he's getting his run against guys in the higher divisions.
2-2 toss. He's retired. That's 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Sansone. Now 4 here in this matinee.
So I'm glad I added the asterisk at the end of Michael Sansone usually isn't a high-volume strikeout guy in all of his outings, because so far this season that's now 16 Ks in 3 games. Of course, his outing isn't done today, but he can be that strikeout guy, and he's finding his form here in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
2 away. Here's Chris Newell, center fielder from Virginia. His debut game for the Mariners, struck out back in the 1st inning. Now up at the plate for the 2nd time. (1-0). Got on and missed. Count even at 1 apiece. Sansone a much better trip the 2nd time through the order. Back of the 1st. Hitters went 4 for 7, driving in 3 runs, and only struck out once. However, the 1st through 6 hole hitters combined 0 for 6, 3 strikeouts. Chris Newell is 1 strike away from falling right in line with the rest of them. 1 ball, 2 strikes against him. 2 away as Sansone looks to retire the side for the 3rd consecutive inning. The Bearded Wonder, the 1-2, down in the dirt. Count even at 2 apiece. Looking to strike out the side in the 4th. 2-2. Newell does not give any chase. Count now full. Payoff pitch upcoming with 2 down. The base is empty. In the air, shallow left, and a sliding Hogan Windish will reel it in off of 1 knee. The left fielder has made a ton of great grabs this season. Add it to the list. We go to the bottom of the 4th, halfway through this 7-inning thriller, and Harwich leads at 3-0 over Wareham. More baseball coming up on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Reed Custom Soils is New England's leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installations and is the exclusive New England supplier of stabilized stone dust. Reed Custom Soils services over 300 golf courses and provides unique blends to fit your needs, all by experienced precision blenders. To learn more about how Reed Custom Soils can serve you, call toll-free 1-800-924-5335 or head to reedcustomsoils.com.
Want your daily dose of news? Lucky for you, Wareham, Sipicon, and now Dartmouth Week has you covered. Whether you live in Wareham or in the surrounding areas, you can count on up-to-date news on sports, schools, and even the fine arts, courtesy of the partnership between Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week. Head to theweektoday.com and search Wareham, Sipicon, or Dartmouth for more.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. Harwich on top of the Wareham Gatemen 3-0. Jukebox Hero echoing around the ballpark. Hogan Windish will step up and try to spark this Gateman offense that's tallied just one hit through the first 3 innings, Cam.
Yeah, and it's against a guy in Liam Sullivan that has been dealing. 6 Ks. He's forced a couple ground outs as well, a fly out, but most of his outs have been courtesy of the punchy. He'll look to do it again here in the fourth.
First pitch to Windish, up and away. The left fielder 0 for 1. Ground out to short back in the first. All 3 runs for Harwich came in that first inning. Strike 1 called on the outside edge. Cam, so far, based on the pitching performance from Liam Sullivan, those 3 runs in the first may just be enough.
It depends on what Harwich does out of the bullpen, but in terms of the starter, Liam Sullivan's doing his job.
Windish swings through strike 2 as he looks to extend what is a 5-game hitting streak. Second longest of the summer. First being 6 games that was broken last Sunday in Game 1 of the doubleheader at Chatham. He picked it right up in Game 2 and has been on that streak ever since.
Wonder, are doubleheaders the Achilles heel of Hogan Windish? We hope not.
He's hit safely in 11 of 12 games this season. 2-2. Above the letters, count now full. Payoff pitch. Liner into left. A leadoff single for Hogan Windish. And is that the spark that the Gateman offense needs to catch fire?
He read fastball all the way. That downward motion of Sullivan has been tripping up all these Wareham batters. It didn't trip up Derek Fabian because he also read fastball in, and so did Hogan Windish. So a good read on Windish's part to rope that one to left, and doubleheaders are not the kryptonite of Hogan Windish. The hit streak now up to 6.
Here's Max Anderson, the Nebraska first baseman. Count 0-1. With Windish on at first. No outs. Anderson 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to end the first inning. Oh, 1 cut on outside. The first 9 batters retired by Sullivan. Just 3 had balls put in play. 0-2, upstairs and out. Look back at that hit from Windish, Cam. We talked about the weather report earlier. 82 degrees today. It's a little bit muggy. 58% humidity in the air. And, of course, we know as the greater humidity, balls are going to drop more oftentimes than not. Not as much flight in them compared to, dry conditions.
Well, you got to put a good ride into it, and Windish did. Looks like he barreled it up pretty well, and maybe on any other day, if it was a cooler day here on the Cape or on the Cape anywhere else, might have flown a little further.
2-2. Outside and away, make it ball 3. Count now full on Anderson. Sullivan trying to avoid dealing out his first free pass of the afternoon. Windish on at first, no outs, the 3-2. Cut on and missed. Strikeout number 7 today for Liam Sullivan. That's 1 away in the top of the 4th.
The biggest issue with trying to throw in, you're reading a pitch, is Anderson was reading fastball. And instead, that one dipped a bit lower than maybe he expected. And why Windish took advantage is the spot was a bit lower, but Sullivan missed his location that time right on the money, and that's where he's been able to strike out a good majority of these Wareham hitters, those pitches that have a little more velocity on them and they almost clip home plate.
Harwich leading by 3. First pitch to Allen Roden. Just catching a piece of it. Soft foul ball to the left side. Gateman 2 hits so far today, one of which is Hogan Windish on at first. Leadoff single moments ago. Left on left, the 0-1. Breaking ball finds its way into the zone. Nice curve from Sullivan, 0-2.
That's an opposite field shot that Roden would want back, because whenever the ball is at the belt or drops over the plane of the plate, right there at the waist, that's where Wareham can take advantage.
Sullivan's 0-2 pitch. He went. The ball, though, will get away from Josette. Windish jogs his way to second. Meanwhile, Roden's retired for the second out in the inning. And the 8th strikeout on the afternoon for Liam Sullivan. For the second time in as many innings, the Gatemen have a man in scoring position with 2 outs. It's Ty Evans up to the plate with Windish at second. Two-out toss. Lift in the air, shallow right. Seidel charges from right field, but it gets down for a base hit. Windish sprinting home. The play's going to be close. The slide. He's out. The Gatemen try to squeeze across the run, but Tommy Seidel guns him down from the outfield grass, and that's the end of the 4th. Harwich leads it 3-0. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball. We return to the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, Robertson's GMC, we are professional grade, power like a pro.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Past the midway point in this 7-inning contest, we go to the top of the 5th. Harwich holding strong. They lead it 3-0 over Wareham as it's 8, 9, and 1 due up in the Mariners' order. Cade Crenshaw joined alongside Cameron Ezeir. Cam, since that 3-run first, well, the Mariners have gone quiet. They've been retired 9 in a row.
And it's a good sign to see Michael Sansone back out on the mound for his 5th inning of work. First time we've seen him range this far into a game.
Just a 7-inning contest. Maybe he can go the distance on a good pitch count. Keep it low. That way you have a plethora of bullpen options for tomorrow after a few were exhausted last night. Mac just set at the plate. Catcher from Florida. 0-1. Put on the ground towards Hausinger. A diving stop by Jack. And that's one down. Hausinger's speed at second base is not a skill you can teach in practice. It's only God-given.
Not just speed, but reflexes as well. He started the season at short. You can push him over to second. He almost is a second leg shortstop. He's covering the same amount of ground, except he now has to worry about covering the bag. But jumped to his right and then had to drift back to his left on that diving stop. And what a great play by the Ezeir product.
1-out pitch to press Cavanaugh. Over the third base side, Fabian backs up from the third base bag, and with his feet just past the trimmings of the outfield grass, he'll reel it in for out number 2.
This is huge for a Gateman team that utilized 3 pitchers alone in the 7th inning against Falmouth yesterday. So you talk about exhausting the bullpen. Wareham would love to push Michael Sansone as far into this game as possible and maybe just throw out 2 pitchers.
With David Smith coming up to the plate, the second baseman from UConn. We'll pause, though. Harwich Mariners manager Steve Englert is going to come over just to have a brief conversation with him to try to maybe get this Mariners offense back into the rhythm that they found in the first. Still on Sansone. They were able to break through in the first inning, but Sansone's had the upper hand as of late.
This team's just not doing their job as they did in the first. It's a lot of hero ball. Where am I going to put this in order to maybe get to second base and turn it into extra bases rather than working as a team and as a sequence as they did in the first.
2-out pitch. Smith puts on a bunt, third base side. Sansone picks it up, his throw in time. What a better way to polish off the frame than do it yourself. That's what Michael Sansone does. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Harwich still leads 3-0. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball coming up on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Need physical therapy? Select Physical Therapy works directly with you and your physician to create a plan of care that meets your goals and needs, with 6 locations on Cape Cod and more across the country. Select Physical Therapy is the official provider of athletic training for the Wareham Gatemen.
Well, we make our way into the bottom of the 5th inning. Harwich on top of Wareham 3-0. So far, one of the sparks for the Gateman team today has been Ty Evans, a double here today. Had a double in last night's loss at Falmouth. And our Claire Foley is down the sidelines with more. Claire?
Bats and facing elite pitchers in a new place, but he said it definitely helps having familiar faces in Derek Fabian and Michael Robertson here. Of course, his teammates from Florida. And as for his goal this season, he said he'd love to hit 300, but he's mostly just looking to grow and get ready for his next season with the Gators. Cade?
It's Claire. Our old Claire Foley down on the sidelines for us this afternoon. She'll be back with us once again in Game 2. We go to the bottom of the 5th, now underway. Here's Blake Wright, shortstop out of Clemson. First pitch up high, ball 1.
Must be nice having that camaraderie, as Claire was saying, with 3 Florida teammates. Ty Evans has a couple by his side in the dugout.
1-0 to Wright, lifted off the right side into foul territory. Meanwhile, Liam Sullivan back out for his 5th inning of work as well, much like Michael Sansone for Wareham. But Sullivan today has yet to allow a run. He's allowed just 3 hits to the Gatemen, while striking out 7. 1-1 pitch down low. Strike 2. One-two offering called. Strike 3 in the bottom half. Blake Wright retired for the 2nd time today, and that's 1 down the bottom of the 5th. Make it 9 Ks on the afternoon for Liam Sullivan. The Harwich starter is dealing. Does he find his way into double digits before this one wraps up? Ian Farrow steps in, the designated hitter. First pitch, cut on and missed. 0-1. Farrow 0 for 1 today. Strikeout back in the 3rd. Make it 0-2. Sullivan with 1 away and the bases clear. The 0-2 to Farrow, up and out. Ball 1. One-two plunges down low. Count even at 2 apiece. 2-2 offered. Fouled up the third baseline. We'll see the 2-2 again.
Jack Sullivan looks so steady on the mound. He's reached up to 65 pitches, and number 65 looks as good as number 1.
Two up and out. Count now full. The Gatemen just 3 hits today. 1 back in the third, a pair in the fourth. And that fourth inning ended where Windish was thrown out at home from right field, trying to score from second. Payoff pitch to Farrow. Fouled away. We'll do it again. Gatemen looking for their 3rd straight game, reaching double-digit hits, though if they're looking to hit that mark today, the offense is going to have to pick up quickly. 3-2. Called strike 3, inside edge. 10 strikeouts this afternoon for Liam Sullivan. The Georgia Bulldog is dealing from the bump.
You take a look at his statistics at Georgia in the spring. The most he ever had was 8. That was against Hofstra in 7 innings of work, and this is a guy not even done with 5 and has 10. I'm more impressed with the fact that the first 8 were by the swinging variety and the last 2 by the looking variety, so he can get it done in a multitude amount of ways.
Derek Fabian at the plate, third baseman from Florida. Early on an 0-1 count. Liner through the left side for a 2-out knock. Derek Fabian, his second base hit today. 3rd in as many at-bats, going back to a pinch hit last time. He's found his groove. And is it enough to spark the Gateman offense? Here's Peter Burns. They'll look to piece together a 2-out rally.
He's looked so confident, and not just on the offensive side, but defensive side as well. That's why Harvey Shapiro, in his 24th year as a head manager, first here with the Gatemen, has the confidence to throw him out there.
Left on left. Sullivan to Burns. Ball 1. This is just a tad high.
And Cade, I'm always interested to see how a field manager throws out the lineup. You switch from 3rd to 1st Anderson, so you get the bat and the defensive Fabian at 3rd.
1-0 finds its way in the zone. Count even at 1 apiece. And before Fabian had arrived in Wareham, it was Anderson essentially starting a 3rd nearly every single day. We saw Tremaine Cobb Jr. get 1 start over there from Hartford. But other than that, it's been Anderson nearly every day, so I'm sure he doesn't mind an off day occupying 1st. 2 balls, 1 strike on Burns. Two 2-1 pitch. Out and away. Ball 3. Keep in mind, this is game 1 of today's doubleheader, so we're only going 7 innings as of now. Now, the only way we go beyond 7, keep in mind, now, in a regular Cape Cod 9-inning game, there are no extras. They end in ties. Here, though, as Burns draws the 2-out walk to put 2 men aboard for the top of the lineup, here in these 7-inning games, we can play extras up until the end of the 9th inning. So at most, these 2 teams will play 18 innings today, although the original plan will be for one of the 2 to win it in 7 each. As Sullivan has put 2 men on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, 1 via hit, the 2nd via a walk. We see a mound conversation now for Sullivan. Can he work out of this 5th inning jam? He's got the top of the order coming up in Jack Hausinger. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but 10 strikeouts on the ball game for Liam Sullivan. Really, really good outing for him, and you almost hate to see it end right here. You want to see him get out of this inning.
And that's why the Mariners are going to keep him out there. He's near that 70 pitch total, so you wonder, okay, you don't want to exhaust his arm too much. He's on 6 days of rest as he was between his first and his second outing. When he's rolling, if he feels confident against Hausinger as he did in the 1st and the 3rd, striking him out 2 times, might as well keep him out there.
2 men on, 2 down. First pitch to Hausinger. Breaking ball misses high, not by much. Count 1-0. Fabian inching off of second, Burns off of first. 2 away in the inning. One 0 to Hausinger. Put on the ground towards first. A weird hop gets past the glove of Vetrano. And Hausinger will beat the pitcher to the bag. Now they're on the ground. What's the call at first? They're saying that Hausinger's out. Sullivan must have beat him just in time. Boy, that was a scary collision. A big, tall, 6'6" Sullivan coming on 5'9" Jack Hausinger. Everyone appears to be okay. And the 5th inning is over. 2 men are left stranded by the Gatemen. And Harwich leads 3-0. We'll be back for the top of the 6th when we return for more Wareham baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Highline Cruises, Barnstable Bats, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Cape Space, Christmas Tree Shops, UFOs, T-Mobile, Boston Better Business Bureau, Fairway Financial, Rogers Gray, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Two frames left today in Game 1 of this doubleheader between the Wareham Gatemen and the Harwich Mariners. Harwich on top 3-0. That's been the lead for the Mariners since the first inning, where Michael Sansone gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, including 2 sacrifice flies. But since then, well, he's retired every batter he's faced. Make it 13 in a row. Retired for Sansone. It's 2-3-4 due up in the Mariners order, led off by Tommy Seidel. 1 for 2 today. First pitch. Seidel takes a strike 1 in the bottom half.
I think some might say, hey, why is Michael Sansone still out there? Do you not want to exhaust his arm? You want to see him in a week or so. Well, it is a 7-inning game. He's been dealing in the past couple of frames. This past spring, in his last 5 games at Fairfield, averaged 100 pitches per game. So he knows how to throw into the triple digits and even into the late double figures.
And based on how Wareham has been running its rotation as of late, he's going to have 6 days of rest, which is plenty of time if he was to go 7 innings and be up, probably 80, 85 pitches. 1-1 to Seidel. Got on and missed, strike 2. A double back in the first, strikeout in the third. 1 of 4 strikeouts to Sansone's credit. The 1-2. Upstairs. Count even at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes on Seidel. The pitch. Chopper, third base side. Fair ball into the corner. It will roll. Rounding first, heading into second goes Seidel. He turns on the Jets. Now the brakes. It's a leadoff double for Tommy Seidel to lead off the 6th.
Pair of extra base hits for the Alabama man in right field. Double in the first, double here in the sixth, and this is rough territory for a Gateman team that would like to throw Sansone all 7, or at least that's an assumption we're making up here, knowing the rotation's been exhausted as of late. For a guy in Seidel to pick up a pair of extra base hits is huge for a Mariners team that's been halted ever since the first.
Well, Seidel inching off second. Nick Goodwin steps in, the shortstop from Kansas State. No outs, top 6. Mariners looking to extend their 3-run lead. And just before Sansone delivered the pitch, Goodwin called time. That pitch will be nullified. Count remains 0-0.
Took some velocity off of that one too. Thank goodness.
Hey, if you don't have to give it all, might as well, you're in the windup, just let it roll. First pitch, officially, to Nick Goodwin. Fastball upstairs, count 1-0. Goodwin, an RBI hit back in the first. He flew out to right field last time we saw him in the third. And that double by Seidel ends a 13-batter streak of retired for Michael Sansone. One 0 offer. Put on the ground towards Fabian. A one-hop, he snags it, throws in time. One away. Seidel remains at second.
What a luxury to have Derek Fabian over there when you can flip Max Anderson over to first and still have a guy that's so strong defensively in Fabian. That's not an easy play. For a ball that almost rainbows right to the underhand glove of Fabian, he had to scoop it up as well off that stone dust. And for many that are watching this game, it's not an easy play to make, knowing that you let it out of your glove, you don't close it tight enough, and that could be an error.
Man at second, one away. The pitch to Vetrano. Cut on. 0-1. Vetrano out of Boston College. Sansone looking to work around a runner in scoring position. 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Good job defensively from Burns. One toss, back into the fencing. Strike 2. We'll have game 2 coming up for you approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. So you make sure you stick around. We'll have that game covered for you right here on the Gateman Broadcast Network. One-two pitch. Fouled away. Vetrano will stay alive. The cleanup hitter 0 for 1. Picked up an RBI back in the first on a sacrifice fly. Harwich looking to tack on an insurance run late. Top of the 6th. We'll play one more after this. The 1-2. Runner goes. Burns, the throw down to third. He got him. Peter Burns, you don't want to steal on him. Tommy Seidel learns the hard way on that one. That's 2 away in the top of the 6th.
Got him by a mile as well. Last time there was a stolen base that was successful against Wareham was against Ryan Campos yesterday. A couple of baseballs that bounced in the dirt. Luckily for Peter Burns, that one didn't bounce in, so he had more than enough time to scoop it out of his glove and throw it over.
2 outs in the inning. Vetrano, 2-2. Make it a 1-2-3 frame. Michael Sansone caps it off with the strikeout. Number 5 on the afternoon, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Wareham still trails 3-0. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
One of the Gateman's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Looking for a turnkey rental experience on the Cape? Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has a dedicated team of rental professionals ready to provide homeowners and guests with exceptional service. For Cape Cod rentals, nothing compares. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in environmental science, sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at curry.edu.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
As we begin the bottom of the 6th inning, Hogan Windish steps up to the plate. A new man has taken the bump for the Harwich Mariners. It's Zane Probst, the right-hander out of Seton Hall, makes his 4th appearance of the summer in the Cape Cod Baseball League, second against the Gatemen through an inning of one-run, one-hit baseball a few nights ago, where he did not walk a batter and struck out one. Windish onto the infield skies. Under it is Petrano, one down.
Yeah, Probst, you mentioned Seton Hall. 2 years there, 41 innings of work and 30 appearances. Is used to these relief efforts, also has 3 saves, so can close out a game as well. Maybe expect him to do so in the bottom half of the 7th if we get there and the save opportunity presents itself.
Max Anderson, first baseman from Nebraska, 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Gateman, 4 hits today, half of those from Derek Fabian. Evans adds 1, Windish adds another. One pitch. Cut on to miss. Strike 2 from Anderson.
Probst does a really good job with a sweeping pitch as well as that fastball, and he locates the zone almost the same with both, so it's tough to read.
Probst down and away, count even at 2 apiece. Well, the highlight of this game and the storyline that's shut down the Gateman offense today was the play of Liam Sullivan. The Georgia left-hander went 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. 2-2. Anderson up in the air and into right field. A throw to first from Seidel. Tried to catch him slowing up the line. Anderson picked up the speed just in time. It's a 1-out single. The Nebraska Cornhusker. Tying run in the on-deck circle for Wareham. This game is not over yet. Bottom of the 6th in a 7-inning ball game. Roden, the right fielder from Creighton, 0 for 2 tonight. Two-two outside. I'll make that first pitch outside, excuse me. Pick off to first, Anderson diving in. Game 1 of today's doubleheader. The Gatemen looking to avoid losing their 6th game. The last 7 opportunities. Roden in the air to left. Soft rainbow. And drops at the feet of Cavanaugh. Little blooper shot from Alan Roden is enough. In no man's land, it lands. And make it back-to-back one-out singles from Anderson and Roden to bring the tying run to the plate. And Ty Evans, 1 for 2 today, a single back in the 4th. And a great spot here. I know Cam earlier heard from our Claire Foley down the sidelines, and she's really talked about the breakout game that Ty Evans had last night. 3 hits for the Florida Gator against Falmouth.
Whole lot of comfort. You have a pair of your teammates in the dugout with you, Derek Fabian, Michael Robertson, and he's adjusted really well in his first couple games.
First pitch, cut on and missed upstairs, 0-1. Anderson, the lead man at second, Roden behind him at first. Evans at the dish, Probe steals. 0-1 put on the ground, shortstop side. Goodwin picks it up, throws to second for 1. The throw to first, not going to be in time for 2. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4 put out. That puts the second out on the board, but runners stand on the corners for Blake Wright. The only member of the Wareham offense that has homered this season. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter step up for him. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th and runners on the corners, Blake Wright is making his way back towards the dugout. He's been playing shortstop today, so would expect to see a new man at short. Gateman still trying to figure things out over in the dugout.
It's interesting because I saw Ryan Campos exit the dugout and get a helmet. He was the catcher in that loss to Falmouth yesterday and entered yesterday's game with the 3rd highest batting average on this team. And yeah, he's grabbing a bat. For a guy in Blake Wright that's 0 for his last 18, it makes sense why you throw Campos out there, who's been a bit more efficient with the bat as of late. And then you also wonder, because Campos is a lefty, instead of throwing a righty out there in Blake Wright, if you would have higher fortunes with a guy like Campos as a lefty.
It's Ryan Campos, the true freshman from Arizona State. Stepping up in the bottom of the 6th inning with a big spot. He's the tying run with men on the corners. Of course, Campos, as we alluded to, the catcher, so you would assume that he takes the DH role possibly.
I'm taking an assumption that the entire defense will shift around. Of course, we'll see that in the top of the 7th.
We'll buckle up for that. Campos, first pitch. Up high, it's ball 1. See a second pinch hitter if the opportunity presents itself. Kellum Clark is in the on-deck circle for Wareham. Anderson at third. Evans on at first for Campos at the plate. Pickoff throw from Probst, not in time to catch Evans off the back.
3-game hit streak for Ryan Campos. Well, it's a hit in 5 out of his last 6 games. 1 for 4 against Falmouth yesterday.
The 1-0. Upstairs, ball 2. Campos, one of 2 catchers rostered by the Gatemen, the other being Peter Burns, who's behind the plate in Game 1. You expect to see Campos in Game 2, which will begin 30 minutes after this one concludes. 2-0 pitch outside. It's a 3-ball count. Great breeze, the ballpark. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Started out a little warm, but that breeze makes it enjoyable. Not a cloud in the sky. 3-0 offer. Called strike one as Probst paints the outer half.
Expecting the green light here from Harvey Shapiro. Of course, you could load the bases, but I think this is your prime opportunity with Campos at the plate.
3-1, fouled off on a pitch that rode inside. Count now full. Men are on the corners for the Gatemen. The tying run at the dish, and a pinch hitter, Ryan Campos. Only one other appearance as a pinch hitter this season. He drew a walk. If he does that again, bases will be full for Kellum Clark. Payoff to Campos. Fouled away, we'll see it again.
It's also a great position for Campos to be in. Facing the payoff, the runners will be off with 2 away, so any hard hit ball could be a possible 2-bagger and also score 2 and put the tying run in scoring position. That's, of course, if Campos splits some sort of gap in the outfield.
Runners at first and third, 2 away, bottom 6th. Harwich leading 3-0. The 3-2 offer. Up and in, and that's ball 4. A pinch hit walk drawn by Ryan Campos. That lows the bases for Kellum Clark.
Highest walk team in the Cape as of yesterday. And those stats, of course, have to update, but this team is known for their patience as of late. There's a stretch in the first 3 games, walked 3 times, next 3 walked 30 times. So it's a good sign to see Campos in that position. And if Kellum Clark can stay patient, wait for his pitch, that's when he's at his best. And that 3-hit performance against Hyannis just a week and a half ago when he had 3 doubles, it's because he waited for that pitch. He didn't jump on pitches that were out of the zone. He waited for the one he liked.
Clark in a big spot. The tying run is at first in Campos. The bases are loaded. First pitch, cut on and miss, strike 1.
And I like that. It's a pitch he likes, fastball in the outer half.
Anderson at third, Roden at second. Campos on at first. The 0-1 delivery. Fouled away, back into the netting. 0-2. Harvey Shapiro trying to shake things up for his Gateman team. Back-to-back pinch hitters in the bottom of the 6th. Time running out in a 7-inning ball game. Bases loaded. 2 down, the 0-2. Off speed, misses away. Ball 1. Clark looking to bring home the Gateman's first run. 1-2 in the air to left. Trailing in the corner is Kavanaugh. It's into foul territory. And Kavanaugh will make the grab. Nearing the fencing. Well, the Gatemen leave the bases loaded. And another scoring opportunity does not prove beneficial for them. We're through 6, and to the top of the 7th we go. Harwich leading 3-0. We're back for more Wareham baseball when we return to the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. List your home with Eastern Massachusetts' premier real estate firm. Don't just get it on the market, get it the attention it deserves. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
With competitive pay, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities in service, sales, accounting, HR, marketing, IT, and more, a job at Milton Cat, the Northeast Caterpillar dealer, is more than a career choice. It's a choice career. Visit miltoncat.com/careers to join their growing team.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod to the major leagues. Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, top of the 7th, final frame here today, a 7-inning contest. Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Nico Mazza has taken the bump. His first appearance of the summer for Wareham. Right-hander out of Southern Miss. Also a few defensive changes to bring you. First, though, it's now a 2-0 count to Kenny Lavari, the third baseman from Old Dominion. Taking over in center field is Michael Robertson. Moving from center to right is Ty Evans. Moving from right to first is Alan Roden. From first to third is Max Anderson. And from third to short is Derek Fabian. Hope you followed all that along. Won't be able to repeat it all. Or else the game might be finished by the time I finish it all once again. The 2-1 toss to Lavari. Line back in the netting. Mazza takes over for Michael Sansone, who gave the Gatemen all he could. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Just a troubling start. And I'm sure he wishes he could have back a 3-run frame in the first. And that has been it for Michael Sansone after that.
Cade, he faced the minimum ever since the first, which is unbelievable.
Allowed 1 hit thereafter. The runner would be caught stealing. 3-2, up and in. It's ball 4, dealt by Mazza. And Lavari jogs his way on to first. Harwich just looking to cash in on some insurance runs before heading in the bottom half of the 7th. As we said, this is game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 2 will begin approximately 30 minutes following the conclusion of this first one. Same 2 teams, same stadium, same broadcast network. Mazza to McCarty. Off speed, strike 1. Pick off to first, back in time is Lavari. The Gatemen have had multiple opportunities in this game. They just haven't been able to finally lay down that knockout punch to drive in a run. We've seen a runner thrown out at home from right field. You can count that as a lost run. Thereafter, they left multiple runners in scoring position, and then moments ago, leaving the bases loaded with 2 outs. It's an offense that continues to total up hits. Just wants to see it translate into more runs. The 0-2 to McCarty. Called strike 3, outside edge. Nico Mazza strikes out his first batter of the season, and that retires 1 in the top of the 7th.
And to go back to that point you were making, Cade, you've already talked about it. 10 left on base in that loss to Falmouth yesterday. None on base in the first 2 frames for the Gatemen offense, and that's followed up by 7 left on base in the next 4 frames. So his team just hasn't been able to capitalize, even though the opportunities have presented themselves.
Newell looks on, 0 for 2 tonight. Lavari inching off first. 1 away, the pitch. 1 hopper over the extended glove of Roden at first. Rounding second, heading for third is Lavari. Evans relays the throw in. Men will be on the corners with one away for Harwich.
First base hit of the summer for Chris Newell. This is his debut with the Harwich Mariners out of the 7-hole. And finally some production out of the bottom of the order for the Harwich Mariners, and just some production since the first inning after Michael Sansone faced 15, retired 15, one of them thanks to a pickoff attempt in the 6th. But now you're in a 7th inning where Nico Mazza's just trying to keep this deficit at 3. And this is trying times. A ground ball could elicit a double play, though.
Mazza pitching for the ground ball. The one out. Infield pop-up. Ranging back is Fabian from short. He's there for the grab. Runners won't tag. That's 2 down.
Cade, we talked about the 7 left on base for the Gatemen. For the Harwich Mariners, 1 left on base. It's not like, yes, of course, the Mariners didn't really get any production since the first, but they took advantage of the opportunities back in the first inning, which has proven to be enough.
Two on, 2 down for Press Kavanaugh. UNC Greensboro, left fielders 0 for 2. Pick off to first, back in time, is Newell. Final inning of play in Game 1. Sun's beginning to set. 2-out pitch, outside and away from Mazza. Good shuffle from Burns. Dipping in. Count 2 balls, no strikes on Kavanaugh.
Guy Nico Mazza, this is just his 3rd inning of work, dating back to April 20th. Missed close to 2 months at Southern Miss. Seen a lot of action since then.
Two-0 offering, up and out. That's ball 3. Trying to avoid loading the bases is Nico Mazza. 2 outs in the top of the 7th, but treat it like the top of the 9th. 3-0 pitch to Kavanaugh. Better strike 1. Outside edge. Taken by the 9-hole hitter. Mazza trying to polish off the frame. 3-1. Called strike 2. Back to back. Outside half. Mazza's painting the corners. Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Call. Strike 3 in the bottom half. Nico Mazza polishes off the top of the 7th with his 2nd strikeout of the inning and the season for his debut. We go to the bottom half. Harwich leads by 3 to the Gatemen.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Power up and tie this game in the final frame. We'll find out when we come back for more Wareham baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This week's special celebration of Red Shirt Friday is sponsored by Ezeir Hats, Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Into the bottom of the 7th. The Gatemen trail Harwich 3-0. Eric Fabian leads things off for the Gatemen. First pitch, taken for a strike in the bottom half. Cam, they need to score 3 runs here to force a tie and force extras. Of course, the first step, though, is putting Fabian on base.
He's already been there twice. Double in the 3rd, single in the 5th. He's been the most consistent bat. And the Florida Gators have really been the most efficient bats in this lineup in the last couple games.
Game 2 coming up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. 0-2 pitch to Fabian outside. Infield umpire's going to say he did not go. And that's ball 1. One-two toss. Probst strikes him out. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th.
I feel like we've talked about it, and this just might be repetition at this point, but this team's just prone to striking out. And they suffered it yesterday, earlier on in the season, that first doubleheader game against Chatham, 14 Ks. A couple days later, the Gatemen struck out 11 times, and today it's not much better, 10 by the starter, and that one was strikeout number 11.
Here's Peter Burns, catcher from Boston College, 0 for 1 with a walk. Team that was so good at the beginning of the year, just putting balls in play, has struggled as of late at the plate. Burnsy in the air, shallow left center. Ranging is Chris Newell from center field. He picks it out for the second out. Harwich Mariners 1 out away from locking up their 6th win of the year and getting 1 win closer back to the 500 mark. It'll all come down on the shoulders, though, of Wareham's Jack Hausinger. Ezeir, second baseman, 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch, fouled off, 0-1. Hausinger 0-1 off the plate. Count even at 1 apiece. The Gatemen so far today, not much offensive success across the board. Totaled 6 hits, but no runs. 1-1 in the knees. It's ball 2. Cut on. Count even at 2-2. Probst, 1 strike away. Outside, count now full. Base is empty with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. This 7-inning game treated like the bottom of the 9th. The last hope, the 3-2, cut on and missed, and that's the game. Final score, Harwich 3, Wareham nothing. A tough way to lose game 1 of an outing where Wareham not only had multiple opportunities, but stranded 7 base runners in 7 innings. Cam, what can they do to turn around in game 2?
I think the biggest thing is not just to get on base more by way of the hit and not going to run. That's the obvious portion. Walk more. It'd be a little more patient at the plate. It just seemed like Wareham was swinging for the fences early, and for a guy in Liam Sullivan that was doing really well at the beginning of the game and even carried it over into the middle of this 7-inning bout, his team just didn't stay patient, and when a guy got on base, it just seemed like a flyout was coming. So for Wareham, strikeout less, 12 Ks issued by the pitching staff for the Harwich Mariners. That can't happen. You got to stay patient and focus on contact. Doesn't always have to be great contact. Good contact will do.
Final lines across the board. Harwich, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 3 men left on. For Wareham, no runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 7 gatemen left on base. Well, that wraps up our coverage from Game 1. Game 2 coming up approximately 30 minutes from now. We'll keep you updated closer to first pitch across our social media channels at Wareham Gateman. Until then, for Claire Foley and Cameron Ezeir, I'm Cade Crenshaw. We'll see you later tonight. But as always, remember to smile.